Okay. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here and welcome to the final conference of the Unlock project. I am Laura Nieto. I am from Great Innovate Europe, which is the organization who has been leading for these years the communication and dissemination activities of the project. And it is great to meet here in San Sebastian to talk about the project and about the many things that we've been working on. As you may know, in the past years, Unlock has been working with feathers waste, in order to make new products, innovative applications for agriculture. And today we will be looking back from the beginning of times, how we've been working, what we've done. We will be also discussing about the challenges we faced and that we can find even today in the sector. And we will have a look towards the future as well. I would like to remind you that all people online can, of course, ask any questions or can make any comments. We have our colleague here who will be very attentive to you. So please don't hesitate to intervene in any case if you have questions, comments, or something you would like to contribute with. So I think that we can start. To begin, we are going to introduce the project, and I'm going to leave the floor to Dr. Sara Montes, who is an expert in biopolymers and derived from biomass. Right? And she works for CDTech, who has been the coordinator of the project. So the floor is yours. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Laura, for this kind introduction. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this final event of Unlock. I'm very well accompanied by my colleagues also from CDTech, Elena Jubete and Julen Badillo, and also Alaitz Recondo. Allow me just a brief introduction of Unlock project. So the Unlock project was born with the vision to turn a widely available waste, such feathers, into a key resource to create new and sustainable value chains. Our goal was to explore innovative valorization ways to turn this resource valuable for producing new materials with real-world applications, particularly in the agricultural sector. So the starting point of the project was the comprehensive analysis of the poultry sector in Europe, which provide us with valuable insights about the availability of feathers and also the current management practice in the EU. And also this analysis allow us to identify the challenges and opportunities of using feathers in bioplastic industries. One of the key achievements of the project has been the production at demo scale of the different feather treatments. These treatments allow feathers to be processed and adapted to meet the requirements of the modern industries in agricultural sector. And as a result, we have developed 4 unique end products, feather-based, that not only reduce waste, but offer an eco-friendly alternative to traditional materials, showing the potential of using feathers in the bioplastic industries. So the progress we have made so far is just the beginning, as I said before, and you are going to see in the following sessions this afternoon. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Sara. Thank you. So now, after this kind introduction, we're going to have a look. We are going to try and see the bigger picture of circular bioeconomy. And this is going to be presented by our project officer, Simone Macaferri. Thanks very much for being here today. So what can I say about Simone? He's been working with us for these years, and he has a background in industrial microbiology and biotechnology. and brings over 10 years of experience of the sector. So I'm going to leave him share his presentation in a second. Up. Whenever you are ready, you can share your screen, Simone. Simone, can you hear us? Simone, it's your turn. Can you hear us? I think there is a technical issue because people from the call, can you hear us? They're not hearing us. Oh well. People from the call. Now it's the turn to Simone. Could you please share your screen if you're ready?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for this meeting. Unfortunately, we can't be there, but I'm sure that there will be a very interesting discussion as a result of a project that delivered very good results and showed in concrete the integration of different sectors and a real innovation where primary sector and different stages of industries and small medium enterprises collaborated in order to deliver innovation in agriculture as an endpoint. My presentation will be quite general about the role of CBJU, what is CBJU, and how we are operating in the European landscape in order to support innovation in the bio-based and circular bioeconomy. And later, my presentation will be followed by the one of my colleague Ana Ruiz that will focus especially on our attempt to integrate the primary sector in our projects and all what we are doing in order to make the activities that unlock as showed as an example as a kind of streamlined across all the possible innovation potential that CBJU is funding. CBJU, as you might know, is a joint undertaking between the European Commission and the private sector that is represented by the Bio-Based Industries Consortium. Is a public-private partnership that is working for the public interest in order to boost the competitiveness, the growth, the economy, and the transition, the green transition, fostering the creation of new jobs and the translation of innovation towards the market in order to achieve the objective of the Green Deal in terms of climate and environmental targets, but is also supporting the private interest, addressing the challenge of the industries and trying to de-risking investment in order to ensure that bio-based innovation are getting to the market in a short time frame and in a more robust and consolidated way. We have been co-funded by the European Union since our launch that has been in the 2021, and we are going to operate for 10 years. And we have an operating budget of 2 billion euro, and we are not a completely new entity, but we are born on the success of BBIJU, Bio-Based Industry Joint Undertaking. That's why I'm presenting you overall figures of the entire program, not only CBJU, but also our predecessor. And so far, we have funded 192 projects with more than 1,500 beneficiaries that got European money. 35% of that are SMEs, 25% university and research centers. So you can see there is an integration between the public and the private sector, also in the numbers of the applicants and the number of the beneficiaries. And we have not focused only on Europe, but we have funded beneficiaries in 43 countries. So also towards an expansion of the geographical dimension. What is important is that for every euro of CBJU funding, the program has been able to attract 3.23 euro in private investment. And this is something that is at the basis of the concept of joint undertaking, mobilizing private funding matched by the public money in order to have a real collaboration that is supporting bigger investment towards the bio-based market. So far, we have funded projects that are geographically spread all over Europe. As you can see in the diagram, we have demonstration plants like the 3 that has been funded in the frame of Unlock. In Unlock, they were dispersed between the Scandinavian and Poland, but you see that there are also a lot of emphasis on the Mediterranean. There is a quite even geographical spread. And what is specifically peculiar of our joint undertaking is that we found flagship products that are large, first-of-a-kind biorefineries that try to be exemplary in creating plants that are the first of its kind in Europe. And this is the list of the 19 flagship that has been funded so far by CBJU. CBJU is developing innovation across all the bio-based sector, and therefore we are interested to projects that are addressing all the different feedstocks. It was very interesting in the case of Unlock to have a feedstock from the agri-food sector, but it was not plant-based as a main peculiarities, as the chicken feathers were a real innovation in our portfolio. But as you can see, we have a very diverse range of feedstock, but the majority are dealing with the agri-food and the forest base. And this, I think, is important in the context of an agriculture flavored event like this one, and also in our attempt to always try to integrate as much as possible the primary sector in our actions. The projects are delivering innovation that are spread all over the different processes, products, and materials that are currently available on the pipeline. You can see that we have innovation that are dealing for the majority with the bio-based materials and bio-based chemicals, but we have also innovation in the food and feed, we have innovation in the packaging, in the textile, in the geotextile, as we addressed in Unlock. So you can see that there is really a diversity of products that the bio-based sector can deliver, starting from a diversity of feedstock. In order to have this diversity really translated in concrete result, the multi-actor approach is at the basis of our project, especially in the last years since CBJU has started. The multi-actor approach and therefore the integration of the different stages of the value chain, the different sectors across the value chain has become mandatory for the innovation action, and there is always a strong emphasis, and there will be in the future even more strong emphasis on ensuring that the necessity of the primary sectors are translated into concrete activities and concrete results. This is not something that is stemming from a specific interest of our joint undertaking, but is the translation of what the policy scenario is going to address and has addressed in the last couple of years. I presented something similar in an event that Unlock organized in Brussels during 2024, and I updated a bit the slides with also a new policy document that has been published in the meantime. That's demonstrating that the sector is evolving, and interest for the intersection between the bioeconomy and the agriculture is not only on paper, but is something that is live in the community. In 2023, the Council has delivered an important document about emphasizing the importance of the mobilization of primary producer and the role that primary producer has in providing biomass for delivering innovation. And you can see that something that is consistent across all the different policies that are guiding the evolution of our sector is that biomass is key, and the diversification of the income of primary producers is key in order to make the agricultural sector more attractive, and bioeconomy has a strong importance in that. A few months ago, still last year, the strategic dialogue on the future of agriculture showed how the bioeconomy should be of central importance in a diversity of policy context, especially we are delivering activities that are meant to restore biodiversity, to protect the ecosystem, to combating climate change. And here, the role of CBJU, the role of public-private partnership, where the rural sector is actively participating, and that's why we are really keen on having primary sector involved in the projects, is very important in order to have this innovation not only as theoretical, but as practical tools in the everyday life of the bio-based and the agricultural sector. In the last month, also a new vision document has been released by the Commission. Is a vision for agriculture and food 2025. You can find it widely online, and I started an excerpt of this that is emphasizing how we must accelerate the commercialization of the bio-based and circular solution, and in doing so, we have to put attention on the role of diversification of value stream, valorization of farm residues, strengthening the role of primary producer in the value chain, that are, and therefore, ultimately generating new jobs in the rural areas. So that said, we have seen that projects that are like Unlock, integrating the primary sector, studying how the primary sector can be mobilized in order to not only deliver biomass, but be part of the innovation, and are addressing through the concrete cooperation of research centers like CDTech, research centers all across Europe, and SMEs that are the ones that are concretely developing the innovation that can return in the circuit of agriculture trying to therefore reduce the environmental footprint of, for example, plastics materials that are now biodegradable, bio-based, and less polluting, is an example that should not be only exemplary, but should be the norm. We are in a period in which the recognition of the importance of these elements is matched by an attempt of implementing also these novelties through products. We are funding this kind of innovation because we think that we have to move forward from the recognition of the problems towards the implementation of solution, and therefore it's through your of innovators, through your role of project coordinators and project beneficiaries, and the community overall that is gathered in presence today for this final conference, that we can shape the future. We can do our role, we can do our job. We are trying to do the best in order to deliver what the sector is expecting. And now it's your turn to make this expectation something real. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Simone, for this explanation. Are there any questions in the room or online? Not yet? Okay. Well, thanks very much. I think that now then we can move forward with Ana Ruiz. She's program officer at the CBEU as well, and she has over 20 years of experience in circular bioeconomy. So today she is going to explain to us here how we can better involve the primary producers into all this world of bio-based innovations. So thank you very much, Anna, for accepting being here today. And the floor is yours. You can also share your screen anytime.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me to this important milestone for this project, for this interesting project. Thank you also to my colleague Simone, who has suggested me to be here and to explain you further about what CB is doing to promote the role of primary sector in the circular bioeconomy innovations that we develop in our project. So it's a big pleasure for me to be here today with you. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see if it works well. Okay. So can you see well the screen,
Perfect.
my presentation? Okay, so very well. So I think Simone has explained very well all the political context we have, which is trying to protect the primary sector, in particular the farmers, and trying to find new possibilities for them, in particular in the area of the circular bioeconomy. So CBE is only a piece of this element, and we are funding research and innovation projects. But for us, it is clear that the primary sector is a crucial actor, because the primary sector is feeding the biorefineries, so they are the main actor supplying the biomass in the value chains. But not only that, is that the primary sector is also acting as an end user of many of the innovations that we are developing in our projects, such as, for example, biopesticides or fertilizers. So I would like to say that we are not only focused our work on farmers, but we really want to cover all the primary sectors. And we are working overall for the three of them. Let's say that they are classified in the forestry, agriculture, and aquatic, covering both fisheries and aquaculture production. And what CB is doing. So you can see from our council regulation, from all of our activities, that our final goal is to strengthen and empower the primary sector in the value chains, in the bioeconomy. The goal, of course, is to secure the supply of biomass, but not only to give biomass, but to ensure that in this process there is a benefit a value for rural areas, and this will create jobs, economic growth, and development of the primary sector and in the rural areas. More concretely, of course, the first thing that we want to do is to ensure that the primary sector is represented in the projects, okay? But we have to say that it's not only about having a beneficiary that is part of the consortium, because even sometimes the farmers or other primary sectors, they don't want to be involved in this administrative burden that is behind the project. So we are really going beyond. So we want primary producers represented in the projects. It can be via beneficiaries, but also via other ways of involvement. But also we are doing more, and you will see how. We want that the primary producers, they have an important role in the circular bio-based value chains. They cooperate with other actors, and this creates opportunities. So regarding the first block, of course, we have many topics, and you have probably seen not only for Unlock, but for other projects, that they are relevant for the primary sector, because we request, and it's written in the topic test, that the primary sector should be represented in the consortia, or if not in the consortia should collaborate with the primary sector. And as also Simone has explained, we request the implementation of the multi-actor approach, which is very important to ensure the real and practical involvement of farmers. And beside that, as I have mentioned, it's not only about making these farmers part of the consortium to say, okay, here we have a primary producer, but really we want that the involvement is real, and this gives and generates a benefit for them, and that there are clear collaborations of the primary sector with the industry or with the end users, and they really become a crucial part of this value chain. And on this block, and on doing that, this will generate benefits for them and for the rural areas. So this is like the summary of the philosophy or the goals that we are aiming to at CBE activities. We have, in fact, it's very serious for us because we have different key performance indicators. We have 10 to monitor the impact of our program, and one of them is focused on monitoring this involvement of primary sectors. If we look at the last projects that we have found in the last 2 years of CBE existing, we have calculated that about 70 organizations from the primary sectors are involved. The number is not high, as it can be other type of beneficiaries, but still is very relevant. And as I have said, we are not only requesting to integrate the primary sector as members of the consortium, but really going beyond to collaborate with them or to have another types of involvement. We have many examples on how the primary sector is crucial in our projects. Here is only a sample of them, together with your project, of course. But for example, in the left side, we have examples in which the value is bring to using kind of unused potential, because, for example, the activities taking place in marginal lands, so the crops or the biomass is produced in areas that are not really sufficient good to produce crops for food, or because we are choosing to use the residues or the side streams that are produced when the primary production takes place via waste and also another types of residues that are generated in the process from the primary production to its transformation. And in the second part, you see that, okay, as I already commented, primary sector is important because they feed the biorefineries, they are biomass suppliers, but we have also many examples of end users. Some of our projects are delivering biopesticides or fertilizers, bio-based fertilizers, as you can see in the examples in the right. And I'm going to finish my presentation for a call for action for you, maybe for some of you, you can be interested. So now our second step, so once we have in our topics the clear requirements to ensure that the primary producers benefit or are part of the consortia or direct or indirect, in an indirect way, we are in the process of creating an ad hoc working group. It's a working group on primary producers, which main objective of this group will be to bring together as many possible primary producers or actors collaborating with the primary sector to discuss about the challenges and the opportunities of the primary sector in the area of the bioeconomy and to promote different type of actions and to implement different type of actions. Okay, the call, so we open in January a call for the expression of interest to join this working group. And it's true that the cutoff date, it was on 28 February. So the first, let's say, bank of the call for proposal has been already closed, but it will remain open during the next year. So we are going to do like cutoff dates once per year. So if you know primary producers that are interested in discussing and promoting actions in this direction, you can send to them this information on the call for expression of interest of stakeholders. What is also helping this is that we have found, we will fund, because it's now, it will start soon, in April probably, as a coordination and support action with 3 million euros, which will support the activities of this working group, okay? Because we are calling for action. We want the group to take action. We know that maybe primary producers, they don't have budget to implement actions. So this CSA will provide the, let's say, resource to enable the working group to implement the different type of actions. And which are the actions that are expected for the working group with the support of the CSA. It will be an action plan that is not developed yet, but it will be developed. And we want that the action plan of this working group will cover at least these 6 blocks of activities. So first of all, to create awareness and better understanding of the opportunities that the bioeconomy can generate for the primary sector. The second block will be oriented to improve the cooperation of the primary sector with the other actors of the value chains, particularly with the industry, which is very important, these connections. The third one will be focus on promoting business model. Okay, this business will work for the primary sector and will provide a benefit for them, incomes. The fourth is about creating synergies and knowledge transfer, because we know that there are many activities ongoing. So we want to capitalize on existing initiatives and network and bring all together. The fifth block will be focused on improving or completing the existing advisory services that farmers have in the area. And finally, there is an important block. We know that part of the biomass may be in unexploited or areas, remote areas. We want to mobilize, in particular, those primary producers from areas where the potential of biomass is high. And with this, I finish my presentation. If you have any doubts, you want to share some ideas, and we are very happy to listen from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks very much for this explanation. It's very nice to see that there are concrete actions so people from the primary sector gets involved, which is often a challenge in terms of stakeholder engagement. So any comments or questions in the room? No? Not yet. Okay, then I think we are going to move forward. Thank you so much to both of you. And we are going to get closer to the Basque Country as we are here now. And we are going to talk about the bioeconomy and bioeconomy projects that are taking place here in Basque Country, more concretely from Naked. Nagore Guerra, Dr. Nagore Guerra. She's a specialist in waste valorization and bio-based fertilizers, and she's going to present, well, what is going on here in the Basque Country. So the floor is yours. I'm going to put the presentation.
So thank you very much. Yes, please. So I am today talking about a bit of bioeconomy. What is bioeconomy? We already heard it from Simone. And I will showcase some of the projects that NACAR is currently working on. And what I would like to start is with a context, no? We know that circular economy in Europe is currently in a cornerstone, no? Why? Because we have, in one part, the problem in which Europe is highly dependent on imports of resources. For instance, we are highly dependent on the fertilizing products or other fuel-based materials. And then in another, in parallel, what we have also is that Europe wants to be climately neutral soon, by 2030, but also they want to revert the biomass lost. We want to revert the biomass lost and improve the soil health. So if we focus in both challenges, what we have is the circular economy and the possibility of this to bring also to Europe a competitive economy with a resilient economy in which jobs can be created and we can grow sustainably. So under this umbrella, what Europe has been doing in the last 10 years so far, we have been developing so many different strategies, right? In relation to this circular economy and also bioeconomy. What's here at this point, in this moment, the issue, the most challenging issue that we are facing now is the market that we are lacking for secondary resources, for those recovered products. So in the new Circular Economy Act, the Ursula von der Leyen have asked to be really be able to cover this lack of real market, a robust market, and together also with a single market for the waste products. That way we could avoid the burden that waste status is facing, no? So if we move forward, yes, sorry. So in this context, what if we talk about circular bioeconomy? We already know because we heard it. This is, there are three key aspects that we have to take into consideration if we are talking about circular bioeconomy. The first one is that we are talking about bio-based solutions. So that means we are using organic resources, secondary resources. In this case, we will focus more on the agri-food sector because I am coming with this institution, NACAR, focused on very much in primary and agricultural agro-food sector. And then what we will develop under this framework is the circular business models. So we are talking about business models, companies that are based their business model in circular solutions. If we move forward, yes, thank you. What about if we landed this context in Basque Country? What Basque Country or Basque government have been doing is take the farm to fork strategy and land it here and see what can be done here with our context, with our raw materials, which are mainly those materials are the most majorly produced byproducts. So these are some numbers that you can have in your mind, and this is all the potential that we have to develop a circular bioeconomy model. And what it is more interesting is that in the waste prevention and management plan, it is bioeconomy already regarded as an important driver towards improving the Basque economy, innovation, and economic competitivity. So this is what it is now here. It is happening already in Basque country also. If we go to the next one, we will see other strategies that have been developed specifically here. The first one I wanted to share, it's the Basque Green Deal. There is not much information on that. It was presented some years ago. And what we see is that it is very based in the farm-to-fork strategy. And there is an special interest on organic farming sector and also zero-kilometer food. And we see also a special point about the Basque Circular Hub towards the eco-design, in which I would say Unlock project fits very well. And then we have also the document called Status of the Environment in Basque Country. In this one, the Basque government, it establishes specific ambitious targets, some of them are here, and it is talking already about this market that we have to develop, that I explained. Because since if there is not a market that will absorb this kind of products, we are done. We won't do anything. And to do so, what we need first is a strong regulatory framework in which this is allowed and facilitated. If we go next, and the last document that I wanted to show is the Circular Economy and Bioeconomy Plan. This data is wrong, it's from last year. In this one, what there are identified are 4 strategic pillars in which 11 strategic lines of action are established. And for each of the action here, what we have is specific actions, and then it establishes some KPIs, key performance indicators, to measure really, to assess in which extent these actions, specific actions, have been considered or completed, no? And now, if we go to the next, yes, what I will take the advantage in here now to showcase 4 projects that we have been developing. I recently joined the group, so I was not involved in Lanalang, and I will try to explain what they can understand. And actually, I have some samples here. It is very interesting, and I think it's the most similar to Unlock project, and that is why I wanted to share this project also, and then the other ones are more focused on fertilizing products. So if we go to the next, yes. Lanalang project, it was a POCTEFA project. It was finished in 2022, this is wrong, and with a budget over 800,000 euros. In this project, what Snaker wanted to do was to use the sheep wool as a resource, innovative resource for new products. Innovative products that would be textiles and polymer-based. Why? Because there is currently 2,000 tons of sheep wool produced in Basque Country, which were traditionally very used, but not anymore. So we have to see what we can do with this kind of material. In this project, different technologies were applied to obtain biodegradable plastics, let's say, textiles, polyesters, and also some fertilizers. Here I have some products based on collagen extracted from the sheep wool. I have some other samples over there, and I will show you later in the stand. And then some ropes made also from the sheep wool extracted materials. And they were testing in this one not only the resistance, but also the capacity to, how do you say, impermeability towards water and this kind of products, no? Yes, and this would be more or less about the Lanaland. If we go to the next, yes, this one is the Sea-to-Land project. It is Horizon 2020 project, almost 9 million euros. It was coordinated, it is coordinated by NECAR. It is about to finish. In this case, what we use is the byproducts produced in aquaculture sector and also fishery sector. There are many of them written here. Fish sludge, crustaceans, byproducts, etc. And we were using this kind of raw materials, implementing different complementary technologies, technological approaches, sometimes with even biorefinery concept integrated. And this was done in 6 relevant areas. Baltic, Cantabric, Adriatic, Mediterranean, Atlantic, and North Sea pilots or demonstration areas. And we were producing a portfolio of different fertilizing products, and they were, of course, tested in agronomic terms, safety, also sustainability with the 3 pillars, environmental, economic, and social. And then now we are finalizing the business models for all these solutions, also some exploitation and replicability plans. And then the next one is a project that it is currently ongoing. It is have to go, I would say, is the RealMag project. In this case, what we do is implement different microalgae strains to obtain different kinds of fertilizing products. We are talking about biostimulants, fertilizer, coating materials, and plant protection products. And we are using, to do so, 3 different raw materials, agronomic raw materials. And again, in this one, we will go through the agronomic test and all these results. And then to finalize, we have the landfill project. This is a CBE project. It is with more than 6 million euros. It is also coordinated by NECAR. It just started last September, so it is now starting to be developed. And in this case, what we use is underused raw materials. There are all of them in there written, you can see them. And we implement different solutions in 5 areas. We have France, Spain, Italy, Greece, and Poland. And again, we implement different technological approaches to obtain a portfolio of products. We have 10 BBF, bio-based fertilizer candidates, and we are also developing some coatings, innovative coatings, to improve the nutrient release in this kind of product and avoid emissions to the atmosphere and also leaching to the soils. And again, agronomic tests, safety, sustainability. And there is another special point here. It's about the industrial symbiosis platform and product passport tool that we will develop to improve all the logistics on the treatment of these materials, optimize their production and the interrelation with the different industries to implement simply the sustainable by design concept, no? And then there is also the development of 5 living labs, which is in hotspot now, or hot topic now. So this is about co-creating together with, yes, it's my last, co-creating together with the actors from the quadruple helix. So this is what we want to develop, and I hope you will hear from us soon. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thanks very much for this overview of the bioeconomy scene in the Basque Country, and for the presentation of these very interesting projects that indeed have some things in common with Unlock. Mm-hmm. I was wondering if you had any comments, questions now, or we can maybe move into the next session, because anyways we have the networking session later. We will have the chance So thanks so much. So I think that we can move then into the next session, that is going to be the round table. So we are going to discuss the different challenges and opportunities that the Unlock project has brought. It is moderated by Daniel Trask from Faraday and Mitchell, and I invite into the roundtable also Jonah Almist from Rice Processum, Philip Miqueta, who is online, and I will show in a second, from Bioeconomy, Evelyn Beckman from Normec OWS, and finally Damian Gajarenko from Cedrop. Thank you very much to all of you for being here, and I'm going to...
Thank you. Can we have the second mic as well, Laura?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
I'll give this to you first. Okay, thank you everyone. So as Laura spoke about, we're going to talk a little bit about Unlock's value chains and the challenges and opportunities that we experienced throughout the course of the project. So firstly, I suppose, just to give an overview of who Farley Mitchell are and our role within Project Unlock. So Farley Mitchell are a food and agribusiness specialist consulting firm. We work right across the food and agribusiness value chain on a whole range of projects, including poultry projects. And within Project Unlock, then, we've undertaken various tasks which have sort of evolved over the course of the project. So the first thing that we did originally at the outset was that we were involved in the stakeholder mapping of the various stakeholders in the poultry sector right across Europe, and in particular within 5 target countries that we identified. From there, then, we looked at the value chain analysis, which I'll get to in a moment, but we've also completed various other tasks, including process simulation of the various demo cases. So that's the different ways that we're treating the feathers, so mechanical grinding that Cedrop are involved in, steam explosion from Rice Processum, and also microbial fermentation from bioextracts. We're also conducting technical, economic, and environmental analyses of these processes as well. So basically trying to conceptualize what the biorefineries would look like at a commercial scale, and seeing how feasible they are then from a technical, economic, and environmental perspective. We also conducted a regulatory review. So in particular, we looked at the animal byproduct regulations in the EU and what that would mean for Unlock's value chains if we were to have to, I suppose, align with the regulations that are in place. And then also from a standards point of view, what the Unlock products would need to achieve in order to be aligned with the European standards. So on the value chain analysis component then, as I mentioned, we did the stakeholder mapping, which then led to stakeholder engagement. So we reached out to various stakeholders within the European poultry sector, be it slaughterhouses and rendering companies, and I suppose interviewed them about their practices and the challenges that they face in their businesses. So we got a good understanding then of how the value chain sort of works. And from there, then, we could look to Unlock's value chains and how, I suppose, the challenges that are being faced currently might transition to Unlock's value chains that are being developed. And in particular, any barriers to entry to the novel value chains that would stem from those. From there, then, we also looked to the solutions. So we were involved with the various partners that are involved in the processes, and looking to see how we might be able to find workarounds for some of the obstacles that they were facing. So with that in mind then, I'll move on to the discussion. And the next slide. Perfect. So as Laura mentioned, we have the guys here with us and we have Philip online. So if I might just get you to introduce yourselves and your companies initially. Damien, if you don't mind to start. Just introduce yourself and your company.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Damian Gajdarenko, and I am from company Cedrop, the Polish poultry meat producer. And I am responsible for the department, the quality of products and R&D of the materials produced from poultry byproducts. So our goal in this project was to deliver raw material for other partners in the consortium.
Yes, my name is Jonna Almqvist, and I'm from Rice Processum in Sweden, and we are a Swedish research institute. And in this project, we have been responsible for the steam explosion process.
Hi everyone, I am Evelien Beekman. I work at Normac OWS, and we are a lab that performs biodegradability and compostability testing, and also does sustainability assessments, so life cycle assessments.
Philippe?
Hello, can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Okay, great, thank you. Well, hello everyone. My name is Filip Miketa. I'm CEO of Bioeconomy company from Croatia. Bioeconomy is a SME which is oriented in the field of R&D, but also we are manufacturers of different bio-based, biodegradable and compostable materials, granulated solutions. Also, we are manufacturing different semi-final and final products from our materials, mostly for agricultural sector, but also for the packaging sector.
Thank you, Philip.
Thank you.
So, Damian, if I might start with you. Obviously, Cedrop are responsible for the mechanical grinding process and the provision of feathers then into the Unlock's value chains from there. The demo plant that was constructed in Poland is obviously one of the main pillars of the project. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Of course, about the demo plant, which was designed to deliver for the partners the safe, clean and prepared with requirements, the feather mills. The installation was designed and now is located in one of our slaughterhouse in Kutno in central Poland. We choose this place because this slaughterhouse is completely renewed, so it was easy to design and implement this installation in this place. And the main topic was to upscale the grinding into industrial scale. And we achieve it. Now the demo plant is operational, and we have a few steps like grinding the feathers to size 550 millimeters, and washing and drying to keep it clean without physical and microbiology contamination. The line can work already with 200 to 300 kilograms of feathers per hour.
Great, thank you. And I suppose the traditional method of treating the feathers was, or is, feather rendering. So how does the mechanical grinding process compare with what you would traditionally have done with the feathers?
It's totally different because here we just prepare feathers with washing, drying and grinding, and we have the same structure of the feathers, still are fibrous, flexible and mechanically strength. So in the rendering we have to break the keratin structure, denaturate the proteins to peptides, and then it's dried and grind to the size, and as feather mill can be used as feed material or fertilizer.
Okay, very good. Thank you. If you don't mind to pass to Jonna.
Yep.
So when Damian is finished grinding the feathers, they're passed over to you guys in Rise Processum. And I suppose throughout the course of the project, the steam explosion technique has shown to be quite promising in terms of feather treatment. So could you just explain to us a little bit about what the steam explosion process is and how it works?
Yeah, sure. So steam explosion uses the steam to break down the structure of the feathers. And normally steam explosion is used on lignocellulosic biomass as wood chips, but now we tested it on feathers. And it works like we put it in a reactor or a chamber and put pressure on it. Pressure ranges from about 20 bars. Is it too high? And the temperature is about 160 to 220 degrees. And after a set amount of time, the pressure releases rapidly, and this causes the steam inside the feathers to expand, and then the structure of the feathers decomposes to get out the keratin.
Okay, very good. I understand it's quite a smelly process.
Yes, it is. We've all smelled it. Yeah.
Other than that disadvantage, what are the advantages of that process compared to the traditional feather rendering?
Since this breaks down the keratin more effectively, we get a more homogeneous composition of it. So if one wants to use the keratin as a material later, then that could be an advantage.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Evelyn, I'll come to you next. Or Philip, actually, I'll come to you next and leave the biodegradation to last, given that that's the natural flow of the process. Could you describe a little bit about what Bioeconomy typically does and how your experience has been of processing the feathers within the project?
Yes, sure, Daniel. I can explain you. Actually, Bioeconomy is doing, in reality, in our real world, existing world, we are doing the same thing what we are doing in Unlock project. So I think that we perfectly fit with the main goals of this project. During implementation of Unlock project, it was very challenging. I will be very honest with you. It was very challenging due to the many different reasons. The main challenge was to develop and to adjust our blends and compounds to the treated feathers, blends which were based on the different material, on the different polymers, natural polymers such as starch, thermoplastic starch, but also we used PBAT, PBS, PBSA, PLA, PCL, PHAs, different sorts of PHAs. I'm telling you this because we started with initially with 13 or 15 different polymer matrices. And we did many different variations of these matrices from the beginning. So the biggest challenge was in a temperature profile. Due to the thermal sensitivity of treated feathers, our blends should have a lower temperature profile. And this is something what we need to take into consideration. Secondly, except a lower temperature profile, our accent was on processability of the blends. And blends with a different, which contain different content and the ratio of the feathers. For example, for mulch films, which should have thickness between 20 and 50 microns maximum, we used feathers with a higher thickness. These are all some limiting factors. For a seed trace, for example, and formulations for this, rigid films should be very thick, but it was important to achieve flowability of blends and materials. But in any case, processability is a crucial step because if processability is good, mechanical and other properties of final applications will be also good. And last, and on top of everything, our blends should be biodegradable in soil by 2 certification scheme, which is very hard to achieve. And this is also limiting us that we can use only several different biopolymers. So this is more or less it.
Okay, very good. Yeah, and it was interesting to hear earlier today during the course of the meeting about how the processability of the materials has actually been helped by the feathers more recently with some of the partners.
Yes, but actually, treated feathers have many advantages, such as, for example, price and possible availability. also biodegradation under different environments such as industrial compost, home compost, and for us most important, biodegradability in soil. From the other side, the biggest challenge was, as I previously mentioned, with the thermal sensitivity, processability, and also the smell, which is also present here, and which is also limiting use in some maybe different and other applications.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Evelyn, could you describe to us your role and Normac OWS's role in Project Unlock?
Yes. So within the project, one of our responsibilities was the biodegradability and compostability testing. So in the first stage, we did a lot of screening tests, mostly disintegration tests on the first materials. Also tested the feathers, the treated feathers, to see the effect of the different treatments on the biodegradation potential. And then we switched to the most promising materials. We did some more biodegradation testing. We first started testing in soil and in compost, but then later we also did home composting tests. We did tests in aquatic environments. And then finally, the final demonstrators, they were all tested for organic recycling, so according to the EN standard on industrial compostability. Also for the mulch films, we evaluated them according to also the EN standards on mulch films, and then also looked at the other environments like anaerobic digestion, also again aquatic environments, freshwater, marine, so yeah. And also a big part of the project was the sustainability assessment. So OWS also performed life cycle assessment of the final demonstrators.
Very good. And could you tell us what the most interesting or surprising outcome of the tests that you conducted would be?
What was not really surprising, but was still good to see, was that the treatment of the feathers actually had a really positive impact on the biodegradability. And also adding the steam exploded feathers to the polymer blends really facilitated the disintegration of the material. We also had one very surprising result. We tested some pure polymers with steam exploded feathers added in soil and in compost. And for PBAT, we saw a strange result. So normally with PBAT, we expect a lag phase in the biodegradation, and then it starts to degrade slowly, and the material with the feathers actually started to degrade immediately, which is what we expect due to the addition of the feathers. But then at some point, the sample with feathers actually started to slow down again, while the pure PBAT started to increase in biodegradability, which is kind of strange to us. But then probably this has to do with the microorganisms that started degrading the feathers first, and then had to adapt to the PBAT as their main food source, which probably takes some time. So actually adding the feathers in this case, it seems like it's made the lag phase disappear, but actually it did not disappear. It just moved, to later in the biodegradation. So
okay, so the microorganisms prefer the feathers.
Yeah, they really like it.
Okay, and I have one more question for all of you. So it's the same question, and it's: could you describe the main challenge that your organization faced throughout the project, how you may have addressed it, and then resulting from that, any opportunities that you might have seen?
For us, the main challenge is almost always the same. It's timing, and in this case, also the huge amount of samples that we had to test. As you mentioned before, we are always at the end of the process because we do the end-of-life testing. So we had a lot of samples still to test at the end. Still now a lot of tests are running, and also our tests, biodegradability and compostability tests, take a lot of time. So it's a challenge to get all the results in time.
Very good. Jona?
Yeah, so we had some challenges when scaling up from the 40-liter batch reactor to the continuous scale. And since feathers are very dusty and lightweight, we encountered some problems because the continuous reactor has an open screw system, and the feathers would just fly around in the whole building. So we had to adapt, and we ended up adding some water to it to prevent this from happening. And this actually made the process go much smoother also. And we also had some problems with the watering of the bigger scale product, since it was much more than in the smaller scale. So we tried different dewatering methods, and this could be looked into more also.
Okay, so depending on the system you use, technically you may not have to wet the feathers if there was a closed conveyance system of some sort.
Yeah. In the beginning, with the batch, we didn't wet them.
Very good. Damian?
From our side, the main challenge was upscaling the grinding of the feathers because of their properties and structure. So it's very hard to cut them to smaller particles, and we have the big issue with blocking the devices or heating to high temperatures, even almost burning the feathers. So we had to change the design, because first we tried to grind dry feathers at the end, and we switch that we start the process from grinding the wet feathers from slaughterhouse. So the addition of water helped a lot.
Very good. Philippe?
Yes, sure. Well, as previously mentioned, the work was performed in the segments. In the first part of the project, we were more oriented in order to develop formulations, and in the second part of the project, we started with scaling up activities. And as previously mentioned, the biggest challenge was in this fact that we need to achieve adequate thermal profile, to achieve processability and biodegradation. So, but however, at the end, with the Unlock project, we clearly demonstrated that waste such as feathers can be used and utilized in demanding applications such as agricultural, mulch films, trays, foams, etc. After all, up to now, only Bioeconomy performed 10 different trials related with development of formulations, and 5 scaling up trials, which I don't remember that we did in any other project in so big and so large number of the different tests. And this was very challenging, but at the end, we are very satisfied with the coordination and cooperability of other partners. I'm using this opportunity to thank once again to coordinator, to Sarah, Alicia, also Elena and Gulen, they are all sitting there. Thank you for your cooperability. And yes, definitely treated feathers can definitely be used in production, but before commercialization, further commercialization, many parameters should be adjusted. So this is it.
Very good. Thank you. And thank you all.
You're welcome.
Are there any questions? Or online? No? Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Daniel, as well, for facilitating this session. Well, so we are perfectly on time, and I think that then we're going to take a little break for a coffee, and then after this 15 minutes, we will be back by 4. We will be exploring more in detail the products that we've produced in the project, and also the exploitation options, the policy uptake, and how we'll be seeing the future after the Unlock project. So don't leave, and see you in 15 minutes. Thanks very much. Can we sit down, please? We are going to start. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks very much for staying there and for staying with us. As I announced earlier before the break, we're going to keep going with the presentation of the products of the Unlock project. So we have Manel Caceres from Acudam. Thanks very much for presenting.
Thank you to you.
He's the collaborator who is in charge, or who is helping at least, with the research and the innovation topics of the Acudam Association. The floor is yours. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Okay, Acudam is a company that what they are doing is thermoforming products for agriculture applications. And now we will see the products that it has been developing with the Unlock project. All Unlock products developed are including keratin, in Unlock are including keratin, and it's from the feeders treated by a steam explosion. You can see in the picture, there are 4 products developed. One is the seedbed trays, the other one is on the corner, the match films, then we have the hydroponic foams and the non-woven geotextiles. All these products are for agriculture applications, and all these products, it has been submitted to several biodegradation and compostable tests, following the European normatives. Next, please. The first product, the Unlock hydroponic foams. The composition, it's the same as all the compositions of the rest of the products. In this case, there is a difference because it's a foamed biodegradable plastics with keratin coming from chicken feathers treated by a steam explosion. The difference is that it's a foam material. The manufacturing is produced by extrusion and gas injection. It's injecting CO2 in order that to get low density with the product. And the application, it is a substrate for hydroponic crops, and it's a replacement of the current substrates that there are nowadays, that they are expanded clay pebbles, they are polyurethane foam pebbles, they are rock wool pebbles, and as well coconut fiber. Next, please. The circularity. Circularity in the hydroponic foams benefits, one of the main benefits is the circularity. And this benefit, it will be the same or more or less the same for the rest of the products of the Unlock products. No? In this case, the Unlock pebbles are made by renewable sources. It is used the waste of the slaughterhouse chicken. And with this waste, we make the steam explosion feathers, and we mix with the biodegradable plastics. Then, with this material, what we do is the pebbles with keratin. And once the pebbles with keratin has been used, we can do compostable in soil, a biodegradable in soil, or compostable in industrial conditions. One of the benefits that they have, the Unlock pebbles, is that they have a fertilizing effect. The nitrogen of the keratin acts as a fertilizer on the crops and allowed to grow better the plants. Next, please. If we are talking a little bit about the hydroponic foams market overview, the potential is a high potential because the hydroponic agriculture is a very growing market. Hydroponic agriculture makes it possible to grow crops without soil. And this gives plenty of opportunities to grow crops in places like could be Middle East countries or could be urban areas where usually is not possible to grow any kind of crop. In terms of market opportunities, there are several market opportunities for unlock foam pebbles. The first one is that there is a high demand of biodegradable substrates. The second one is that the unlocked hydroponic foams are more sustainable than the current substrates that we say that, for example, the pure polyurethane foams, they came from fossil polyethylenes, fossil plastics, and on top of that, they are even not recycled. Rock wall pebbles are not biodegradable, expanded clay plates as well are not biodegradable, and the other one is a little bit in competition with us, could be the fiber coconut. There is very great opportunities, as we said before, in urban and vertical agriculture, and there is a fourth opportunity that is not mentioned on the slide, but I would like to remark that is the only case, or it's a little bit exceptional because price, it don't have to be an issue in this product. Usually, when we are talking about renewables plastics, we have to think that the raw material is 2 times more expensive than if we are talking about fossil plastics. In this case, because we have a very low density, we are talking about 0.20, the real density of the product, it makes that the impact of the raw material is not as big like in the other kind of products. Then, if we add this with another thing, that is that they have an excellent performance in keep the moisture and the root plant oxygenation, and on top of that, we have a fertilizing effect that allows to growth because the nitrogen that we have in the keratin, it's decomposed and it's part of the fertilizers of the plants. Then we have very good benefits, and the price difference is not as big as it should to be in another kind of products. As a market drivers, we have that sustainable regulations will support growth of the sustainable pebbles, and there are not so many competitors, as we said, from biodegradable substrates. Next, please. Match films. The composition of the unlocked match films is very similar, as we said with the foams, is blend biodegradable plastic plus keratin coming from steam explosion feathers. The way of manufacturing is blow extrusion, very well known, and the application is mainly with short-term crops. They are crops that they go from 3 months to 6 months. The function of the match films is to protect the moisture of the soil and to prevent the growth of the weed. And in this case, our match films, or unlocked match films, what we will do is that to replace the current match films that they are made mainly with polyethylene. Next, please. The product's benefits, one as well is the circularity, as we said before, and raw materials from renewable sources is a biodegradable plastic plus chicken feathers. With that materials, we make the match films, and when it has been used, the match films, what we can do is we can bury in soil because it's biodegradable in soil. Referring to the benefits, there are some standard benefits that are regular for all kind of match films. That is what we said. We keep the soil moisture, and they prevent or they control the weeds. Then we have been used less pesticides or without, or we can do an agriculture without pesticides. And there are some specific benefits only specific from the unlocked match film. One of them is the fertilizing effect because the nitrogen of the keratin can enrich the soil later on to have a crop, and we have a kind of fertilizing effect. And the second one is that we have a reduction of the logistic waste. We don't need to take it out the match films and to remove this. The only thing that we can do is that we can bury the match films in the soil. Next, please. In terms of the potential of the market, only in Spain there is 20,000 tons of match films consumption per year. If we take the scope of Europe, we are moving to 80,000 tons. And the market opportunities is, there are new regulations, compliance for match films in Europe, and think that this will be very in favor to us, because one of the things that it's not allowed is that to do a polyethylene match films with a very low thickness. The UE is obliging to have a minimum thickness in order that to avoid that the match films of polyethylenes will be decomposed in the soil, and it could be the soil contaminated with microplastics. There is many opportunities as well in partnership for ecological crops. And another big advantage is the circularity and the fertilization effect that they have, our unlocked match films. Referring to the market drivers, as we said before, we have the advantage that we are not producing microplastics because it's biodegradable in soil. And there is a growing awareness of sustainability for the consumers. Thank you. Next, please. Now we are moving to the next product that is unlock non-woven geotextiles. This is a little bit different, the composition, because we are making biodegradable fibers, some of them could be synthetic and another natural, that they are combined with steam explosion feeders. The way of manufacturing is a technique that you can see in the picture that is called needle punching. And the application of the non-woven geotextiles is used for crop protection for long terms, more than 6 months. That means that match film, it will be for short terms crop protection, and match films we will do from 6 to 3 years. Next, please. The circularity is a little bit different because in this case, the raw materials that we say that is more or less similar, they go to the non-woven geotextiles, but the way that it should to be end of the life, it will be by compost in industrial conditions. Anyway, could be partial biodegradable in soil, and this doesn't create any kind of microplastics and don't harm the soil. But the best option, it will be full biodegradable under composting conditions. And the fertilizing effect is something as well that is typical from unlocked product because the nitrogen of the keratin, they go to the soil and they allow a better growth of the crop. Next, please. If we talk about the market overview for non-woven, the potential this is a product more focused in the North Europe more than the South Europe, because they have, as we said, some advantage. One of the advantage is on top of to protect the soil, they warm the temperature of the crops. That means that in cases of, in places like Sweden, Poland, where the temperature is so low, it's much better to have this non-woven geotextile than a match field. No? That in the North Europe, there is a big range of non-woven geotextile products because there are a high variety of thickness, colors, and permeabilities. Geotextiles, non-woven, are used from small private gardens and as well for big farmers. And is a very big growing market. The market opportunities of these products in North Europe, non-woven market is huge and have many different applications. There are a big range of crops covered by non-woven geotextiles. And the commercial channels of non-woven geotextiles are very well developed in the north of Europe. For private consumption, it's plenty of market garden where you can purchase the non-woven geotextiles. And for big farmers, there is an important and big business-to-business market. There is a constant investment in technology to decrease in this market thickness, to incorporate renewables, raw materials, and to make geotextiles more sustainable. And there is a high potential to develop alliance with partners and partnership between industrial non-woven geotextiles and manufacturer and big farmers. The market drivers for this market, it has been defined as there are not so many manufacturers of the non-woven geotextile, then the competition is not so high, and there is an increase of ESG regulations, that is environment, social, governance, that will increase the demand of compostable non-woven geotextiles. Next, please. And this is the last product that we are presenting as an unlock product, that is the unlock seed tray. The composition is as well a blend of biodegradable plastics with steam explosion feeders. The way that has been manufacturing is with extrusion and thermoforming. And the application of these seed trays is depending of the mold that we are using, because depending of the size of the cavities, we can be used for 4 different markets. One of them, it could be containers of seed of plants or seed of flowers, and another market, it will be containers of seed of shrubs or trees. Next, please. The circularity. This is similar to non-woven geotextiles because it's the sources are renewable sources. We are using the bioplastics plus the steam explosion feeders. With that, we make a containers of the seed beds, and these seed beds should to be in compostation. And after the compostation, we can fertilize the land with these seed beds or the rest of the seed beds. What are not they are not biodegradable in soil. We have to go through a compostation. As we said, there is a big advantage on that, is that this compost that we are getting from these seed trays is very rich in nitrogen, and they have a very good effect of fertilizing in soil. And one of the projects that could be interesting to continue to developing is to do the same seed tray biodegradable in soil. I think it's possible to do it because it will be depending on the bioplastics that we are using. And nowadays, the first step, we are moved to a composting solution, but I think in the future could be biodegradable in soil. Next, please. Last picture. Then the potential of the market of the seed trays is quite huge. There are 5% growth per year. We are talking about 4 sub-markets that we mentioned before, that is the trees, the shrubs, the plants, and the flowers. And the market are led mainly by big farmers and distributors. The market opportunities that we saw as a difference that we are mentioned on the forms is that we have to focus on niches market because the price is a key driver in this market. Then The solution, it will be to focus, for example, in market like ecological agriculture, or forestries that we can allow to live in the forest, the trees when it will be biodegradable on soil, or to focus in high-value products that they want to link the image of the product with a sustainability image. And the market drivers that we thought that we can find on this market is as well the European regulation, the awareness not to use fossil resources, and the innovation. And what we are mentioning in innovation, we think that there are three possibilities to be innovative. One of them, we mentioned before, is that the product, we make it biodegradable in soil. Another one is to have an antifungal properties, adding some materials on the bed seed that allows the better growth of the plants. And the last one is we can add some functional additives. This kind of innovations cannot be done in the standards bed seeds, because when we are going from a plastic from the petroleum, this is not possible to be added, and it's not possible that these materials or these antifungals or functional additive will be going to the soil of the plant. And that's all. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Manel, for this great presentation. We got to know much better the Unlock products. So do you have any comments, questions here in the room? Something to highlight? No? I think there is a question, probably. Maybe you want to...
Yes, in the chat, Bagadian Consulting is asking, are these malt films already available in the market for purchase? And since I know the answer, I would like to add, if you can explain briefly the challenge that these products has to face in order to be commercialized.
No, they are not in the market. We are a developing project. And as it has been explained, one of the challenge is that to incorporate the steam explosion feathers and to make a regular production and to introduce this on these match films. This is the real challenge to make this project that nowadays is a developing project to make a commercial project.
Thanks very much. So I think we can keep going because we are already over the time. Thanks so much, Manel, again. So now we're going to move to a very important part of the day, because now we have been discussing about the different policy frameworks. Now we had the chance to find out more about the products and concretely, what can we do to commercialize these products? What would be the path? So we have a presentation that will be kind of divided in two parts. The first part on the roadmap for exploitation of the products, and the second part on the policy uptake. So let's start with the roadmap. We have Nada Panayotou from Atlantis, and she is a professional who has experience in the feasibility studies and business plans for innovative products. And please, the floor is yours. Thanks very much.
Hello, everyone. I'm honored to be here in San Sebastian. I think it's the best place to conclude Unlock projects. Going back to Atlantis, my first slide, please. All right, what we achieved, it's a very important question. What we achieved, where we are right now. So the Atlantis is doing work package 7. So we are responsible to make sure that all Unlock reports are applied as much as possible. So in this first slide, you can see there is the 3 results. Until 8, I think you heard from Akudam. Mr. Manel, he was saying everything in detail, seed trays, geotextile, hydroponic, and whatever. I will be focusing now on the last two. So the last two are the know-how. It's results from Unlock team, which these results we are going to use for additional research, training, protocols, scaling up action plans and activities, and also informing policies. The business plan and exploitation plan are included in this category. Talking about dissemination, dissemination material could be, in our case, is website, brochures, Unlock results, and we will use them to promote Unlock project. Second, our value proposition, yeah. The question is here, why Unlock products? Why? So we believe that because Unlock products offer advantage which make him worldwide products in the futures. In many places in Europe, there is slaughterhouses that can use only one option how to treat the feathers, which is readiness. So Unlock products give them alternative options how they can use the feathers. So the Unlock products are aligned to the key environmental policies. They are bio-based, utilized waste material, and they offer several environmental benefits. One of them is reducing plastics. To use Unlock products is also shown if used in the field. They are improving the soil quality and plant growth. Second, please. Business models, yes, we have two kind of business models here. One is direct sales, which we can see Sidrop. He has his own feathers. He treats them and sells them. Right? The most partners are research organizations. This means there is no production. They are actually doing instead they are doing licensing of their technologies. Next, please. The value chain. The value chain, therefore, will be completed with the engagement of industrial manufacturers for those products and processes which are hydroponic farms, then microbial fermentation, non-moving geotextiles, and steam explosion. Akudam is also an end producer, but the difference between Akudam and Sedrum is that Akudam depends of the primary materials of others, and Sedrum he has his own ones, and feathers and production. Next one. Innovation radar is Innovation radar is a European methodology designed to evaluate how one product is ready for market. And there is two factors. There is one factor is how innovation is ready by technology side, and the second factor is how a company is ready to manage this technology. I could give one example come up today in my mind is about the mobile. If someone, it has nothing to do with feathers, but just to give example of how product to be ready in the market. If someone designed today that the new mobile will be having the shining screen, right? And then I would like to ask you, because this is innovation, but there is no behind to understand how it's ready or not. So would you like to have this company who just have innovation, or you will buy from Samsung or some other Apple who already have their technology? So I'm sure that you will believe more in the other one because it's ready, I already have everything. So, going back to our feathers, in our case, Cedrop is the most ready for the market, and because he already has technology and he has his own feather supplies, right? The rest partners, they need to do some more work. So several partners focus on R&D, for example, and not industrial productions. And so to be market ready, industrial manufacturers need to be engaged. Next one. Now, innovation, radars is very good measurement. It's really European and very good. And he given us how one product is ready on market. However, we would like to have some other parameters, which you can see in this table. And there you can see the how we use other factors to give us this this idea if they're ready or not. The Unlock project has achieved TRL 7. Products and processes will be additional investment. They can be scaled for a commercial exploitation. Okay, so like many other, I'll finish in few minutes. Like any bio-based materials, okay, our product will be more expensive than commercial products, but with some subsidy, that will help a lot to bring this product in the future as in the market. And based on this analysis, we believe that Unlock has a great future. And I just want to close down with saying that we are planning to continue research, and we are very positive about the future of Unlock products, and we are looking forward to work and to continue to work with the partners, and the dissemination material will use to promote Unlock project. I just want to say that I express my very nice gratitude to Sarah, Laura, and all the partners for the excellent collaboration for all these years. Thank you for your attention.
All right. Thanks very much, Nala, for these kind words and also for the presentation. It was a pleasure working with you as well. We're not done. Now we are going to discuss about the policy uptake. So we have here Giorgio Alessandro, who is also a colleague from Greenovate Europe, and he's been working on the policy framework that is more related to our activity and to the sector of poultry and bioplastics. So first he will give this framework, and after that I will come up with the recommendations that we collected within the consortium. So first, let's go.
Thank you, Laura. So pleasure to meet you all. So I wanted to, as Laura mentioned, I wanted to give you a little bit of framework of where, let's say, Unlock and Unlock products are positioned in terms of EU, let's say, regulations and policy frameworks and strategies. But many of these things we have seen today, but just to make context on the EU policy framework, then the EU regulation for our innovative products, and then Laura is going to take care of the policy recommendations. There is going to be an interactive session at the end, and then a discussion. Next slide, please. Okay, so as we have seen in many presentations today, Unlock is aligned with many policies at the EU level for the construction of a circular bioeconomy. First of all, the EU Circular Economy Action Plan, which was updated in 2020, and in particular some strategies such as the EU Plastic Strategy and the EU Strategy for Circular Textiles. And then there is going to be regulation coming and expected in 2026, the Circular Economy Act. And then, of course, the EU Bioeconomy Strategy, which is also being reviewed and will be updated by the end of 2025. Next slide, please. So when we talk about the Unlock product and Unlock this is the circular strategy that is being developed by the European Union. It's a little bit, let's say, cross-cutting in different initiatives. So as we can see also in the EU bioeconomy strategies, there is this focus on circular economy principles and ensuring that biomass is used in a sustainable way to support the bioeconomy. So Unlock is going to contribute particularly also in the new bioeconomy strategy through different ways, as we will see just in a minute. But also because some of the priorities that have been laid down by the Commission lately are very aligned with the products and the project. So there is this need to reinforce for the new bioeconomy strategy, the bioeconomy industrial dimension, and particularly the links to the biomanufacturing sector. And also this focus on the circular use of biomass and making more value from less resources. Also, there is going to be a call for public consultation in the Have Your Say portal in the website of the European Union, which is going to be released in spring 2025. Next slide, please. So how can Unlock contribute to the bioeconomy strategy development? So as we have seen many times during the conference today, of course through soil protection and soil enhancement, removing the landfilling threat of the feathers, and also through the fertilizing effect of nitrogen, through sustainable resource management and reducing dependence of non-renewable resources, and through, of course, creating jobs in the bioeconomy sector. Next slide, please. Okay, but in order for this to happen, of course, as we have said many times today, there is the need for compliance with specific EU regulatory frameworks. First of all, the framework for animal bioproduct, the ABP regulations, the EU policy framework for bioplastics, which is currently being developed. And particularly the first two, it's important that they are aligned so that the EU policy framework for bioplastics takes into consideration the input such as Unlock feedstock, so animal bioproduct, and then the standards as well, as we have seen, and compliance with chemical regulations by ECHA. Next slide, please. Okay, so going a little bit into the detail, so the EU policy framework for bio-based, biodegradable and compostable plastics, there is a EU communication, it's not binding, that was released in November 2022. Even if it's not binding, it gives guidance, provides guidance on the future EU policy legislation on such matters, and also provides clarity on the definition of what bio-based, biodegradable and compostable plastics is. But there is no EU law in place applying to this to bio-based materials, and specifically for plastics, only specific laws. So the directive on single-use plastics and directive on plastic bags. Next slide, please. So finally, so another important part of the compliance will be, as we have seen, with the EU standards for bio-based products. There are here as well, the situation is complex. There are harmonized standards for industrial compostable packaging and one for biodegradables in soil mulch films. There is a different set of European standards for bio-based products, but we don't have a comprehensive, a single and comprehensive standard for the certification of bio-based products as a whole. Which, as you will see, is also a recommendation that we would like to make to the Commission, and you will see now with Laura all the different recommendations that we're going to propose, and then they are going to be included in our deliverable. Okay, thank you.
Thanks very much, Giorgio. Thank you. So, after this framework that Giorgio gave us, thanks. I'm going to introduce very briefly, because the final recommendations will come in the deliverable will be submit next month. But we're already working on it, and I had the chance to collect many recommendations from all the partners of Unlock. Thank you very much again for your contributions and for being always helpful. And we can actually have 4 clear groups of recommendations, as you can see in the screen. First, we could group them in the regulatory and policy support. The second would be economic and market incentives. Third would be technical development and value chain optimization. And last but not least, is very important as well, is the stakeholder engagement. So I will show you very briefly the ones that came up more regularly among the answers of the partners. Regarding the regulatory and policy support, well, the goal of this group, it's basically to develop a framework, a policy framework, where we can implement activities, innovation activities in the agriculture sector, right? So for this, the different partners have suggested many different initiatives and recommendations. The first one would be, actually I'm going to come here, if that's okay, because I'm against the screen, thank you. The first one would be regulate the use of conventional plastics in agriculture, which is not completely clear yet. Create an overarching sustainability standard, and also establishing clear biodegradability standards and certifications. And last, encourage the circular economy models. For the second group of recommendations, we have the economic and market incentives. As we probably all know here in the room and also online, transitioning towards innovative products and bioplastics in this case, it's costly. So what the partners identified as a good recommendation is to introduce financial incentives to for bio-based materials, and also to expand investment support for emerging bio-based solutions, because today there are investments and there are supports, but basically for bigger initiatives. So that is quite challenging for smaller initiatives. The third group is more related to the technical aspects and the value. Previous one. Oh, can you keep going? No, next one. Yeah, technical, whether or not there. The slide must be missing. Yeah. So for some reason it's missing, but basically the technical development and value chain optimization is related to the products themselves and how we can improve the materials, how the different members or the different steps of the value chain have to be working and collaborating together in a better way, and also how important it would be to collaborate industry and research on the different sectors of the value chain. Last, the stakeholder engagement and awareness. Here, what it is important to bear in mind is that we can have very brilliant ideas, we can have very innovative actions. However, if we don't have the stakeholders buying it, then we are not moving forward. So it is very important to make part, to involve, as we saw also in the presentations this morning, to involve all the actors, especially the primary sector, the farmers, engage them through clustering and demonstration activities. Also to educate them and also the end users into the benefits of all these innovations and all these materials. And raise awareness also on the economic benefits of all these innovations, because sometimes the farmers can be a bit scared of the cost, and in the end we can have benefits as well from this innovation. So it's important to let them know how good it could be also for them. And now we saw them very briefly. The point is just for you to have an idea. And I would like you to work a tiny bit now. So if you could take out your phones, even at home, if you are watching the streaming, you can scan this QR code, or you can go to mentimeter.com and introduce the code that you can see in the screen. So the goal would be for this small questionnaire, it would be to try to assess how important do you consider each of the recommendations is. From 1 to 5, you will need to give it a grade. 5 points means more relevant, more important. 1 point means not that important. And if you think that if the recommendation is not relevant at all, you can skip it as well. So whatever you find is more relevant. I'm going to leave it for a second so you have time to give your answers. And in a second, I will share with you the results. Is that okay? Is it working? Can you all, yeah? So as you can see, we have more and more answers. For now, all the recommendations seem quite relevant because they have quite a lot of points, being the biggest 5. So the average is above 4, which seems very relevant. So far, the one that has the highest average, it's introduce financial incentives for bio-based materials. And on the second would be educate farmers and end users on the benefits of biodegradable mulch films and products. And regarding the least relevant, which are still relevant because they are almost 4, 3.6, 3.7, is create an overarching sustainability standard and improve coordination across the value chain. It's not that they are not relevant, they're still quite high in the average, but they seem less relevant at least. Okay, so you can still keep voting. This is going to be open for a while. The goal of this little interaction is to gather all your inputs, and we will add these conclusions to the deliverable that will be available from next month. So if you want to have all the overview of all these policy recommendations and a bit deeper as well, you will have the chance to check them in a month, probably. So this is it for the policy uptake. And now we have our last session. Let me remove this from screen. Yeah, it's okay. Sí. So here we have our last presentation that it's Beyond Unlock. We have Katarzyna Kowalska, who is going to present what are the options or the opportunities that are coming after the Unlock project is finished in a month. And what we can say about Katarzyna is that she's the president of Unimos Alliance with over 20 years of experience in EU-funded research and innovation in bioeconomy. So the floor is yours. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Laura. It's a pleasure to be here today and share with you all everything that we have been working on actually to support the continuation of Unlock project, to create new bridges, to create new potential linkages, so we can use the legacy that is co-created and then explore new possibilities for new projects, for new collaborations and new research. Next slide. So basically, our work has been both in a very interconnected, holistic. We took into consideration the whole Unlock consortium and the products and treatment technologies that were being developed together with end products and around quadruple hike stakeholders that we have been working since 2021. So it's been a very dynamic and very interactive process, also to boost synergies between different projects, networks and initiatives, so we can also explore funding opportunities and market needs that are currently ahead. So we have 5 strategy cases. I will also share it a little bit later, but we tried to systemize those potential actions, and this is the result of different activities that we have implemented that will be shown in the next slide. So you can see the stakeholder mapping, empowerment, and synergy building. So as you can see, we have been combining relationship building with mapping of related projects, with clustering activities, taking into consideration treatment technologies and end products to use and to promote them in 3 countries that we have been targeting: Poland, Spain, France. But also we have expanded it to more pan-European level, as the world is interconnected. There's a lot of different linkages between research, between science, between regional governments. So this is why our activities were always interconnected. We have been performing this clustering and dissemination and engagement at pan-European level, for instance, in different CBE info days, at European Cluster Alliance, in different matchmaking opportunities first. So it's been a lot of meetings, a lot of events, and then also in the next slide we have done regional and cross-regional clustering. So it was a set of total 9 events, workshops, roadshows, and disseminations that we have coordinated, basically to also boost this dynamic capabilities between partners to create inter-project connections, and to also cross-industry dimensions to see around a shared area of interest, which is circularity in agriculture. So as a result of those activities, in the next slide, we have also clustered our events that were both related to poultry, but also bio and agro, in terms of connecting both with stakeholders that were producers and end users, and to check new technologies, to see different digital technologies that also may be used in the future, as well as thematic and sectoral approach. So for instance, Pact for Skills, and to see what kind of different competences should be built in order to boost bio-based innovations like Unlock.
So we have come to those 5 strategic axes that we would like to support beyond the unlock and also when the project is end. In the first one, the most important one, is to support the uptake of unlock solutions. So for this, we have connected with Community of Practice S3, which is an interregional collaboration platform, in 2 ways. One is related to circular economy, another one to biosolutions. So basically, this is to create a new area for exploring all unlock solutions, but also there is a potential space for collaborations for all unlock partners. So that way, maybe in different configuration, in different dimensions, we can keep collaborating and at both regional and interregional level. Then we want to keep boosting synergies between both ongoing and future European projects and networks, mostly because we have already engaged around Unlock different CBE projects, different Eurocluster projects, Horizon. We have been meeting, we have been networking, so there are already a lot of cross synergies, and this is why we are also exploring different funding opportunities within those programs and those opportunities to see if we can support to solve challenges that have been facing, but also the opportunities to continue. The third axis is about, as already said, those identifying and seizing funding opportunities. So we have been checking to do it at pan-European level, but also to explore cascade funding, open calls for shorter, so for more concrete solutions for small and medium enterprises mostly, but also interregional innovation investment instrument and upcoming Euro clusters that there will also be a lot of opportunities together with regional and national funding opportunities. And having this, the fourth activities that we would love actually to do, it's to replicate participative workshops because we have been using unlock cases solutions as a tangible inspiration for boosting also awareness for connecting with youth, with young leaders, with potential innovators, just to engage them in our activities. And they can come up with very nice ideas and solutions, as we have been also working with artificial intelligence tools, co-exploring together what can be done in how way. And this is our idea is also to keep working on different online and offline formats for instance, for PhD students, for local leaders, and also for wider audiences, both in other countries at European level. So this was very, very inspiring and unexpected activity, and which came also to the fifth axis, which is exploring, experimenting, and co-creating. So we would love to conduct pilots, experiments, support conducting different collaborative initiatives where unlock solutions are, serve as tangible inspirations and tools, so we can work on the ground with different cross-sectoral and cross-industry approaches. So this is what we, this is a summary of our activities and summary of the ideas, but we are very open to hear from you, to also to keep in contact and to see how we can really, make an impact beyond Unlock and also create new further collaboration projects. Thank you.
Thanks very much. That was really inspiring. Thanks for that. We are looking forward to keep collaborating indeed. I was wondering if anyone has questions or comments or in the chat. No, everything's fine. So we are closing. We are going to finish this day. But for that, we are going to leave the coordinator, Sara Montes, wrap up the day and highlight the conclusions and last thoughts for this very last meeting and conference from the Unlock project. So the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Lara. So we have reached the end of the event, and before closing, I would like to reflect on the valuable discussions we have shared this afternoon. So the Unlock project has provided us a unique opportunity to explore innovative ways to drive sustainability and circularity in the agri-food sector. We began by understanding the broader European vision for circular economy in the agri-food sector presented by the project officer Simone McFerry from CBE, and how it aligns with the ongoing transformation towards more sustainable practices. Also, Anna Ruiz highlighted the critical role of the primary producers in circular bio-based innovation, emphasizing their position in driving the future of the bioeconomy. Nagore Guerra's presentation on the bioeconomy and EU projects in the Basque Country showcased the regional efforts and collaborations that are making significant strides in supporting sustainable practice within Europe. The roundtable discussion facilitated by Farrelly and Mitchell, provided an engaging platform for exchanging ideas on the challenges and opportunities that the Unlock project has encountered. And it was evident that while there are obstacles to overcome, there is a great deal of potential for further valorization and its integration into various industries. In the later part of the session, Akudam presented the market potential of Unlock products, demonstrating the promising avenues for commercialization bio-based innovation. This was complemented by Atlantis and Green Innovate Europe, who shared insights into the project exploitation roadmap and the policy uptake, highlighting the necessary steps for bringing this innovation to fruition at a larger scale. Finally, the presentation from Unimos Alliance pointed to the future beyond the Unlock project, emphasizing continued collaboration and further exploration of sustainable solutions. In closing, today's discussions have reinforced the immense potential for circular bioeconomy solutions, particularly in the agri-food sector. With continued collaboration, innovative thinking, and dedication, we are one step closer to a more sustainable and circular future. So thank you to all the speakers and participants for their valuable contributions, and we look forward to the continued success and impact of Unlock project. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Sarah, for these conclusions. So from my side, I think that we can close up saying a big thank you to everyone for not only for today, but for all these years of collaboration. Thank you to the people who have stayed online and who will see the recording as well of this session. We are not done. We have still 1 month to go. So please don't hesitate to contact us if you have ideas, if you have potential collaborations that could be inspiring for further projects and activities. We're very much looking forward to keeping the work up. So thanks to everyone, and see you for more collaborations. Thank you very much.